The guys, John here, Mr. Forex Fire. Thought I was going to make it up today in absolute agony. I have arthritis, as many people know, and boy, have I been am I suffering this morning with it. Yeah, really bad change in weather. Horrible, cold, dreary. I think the change of weather hasn't helped as such. Anyway, let's get on to this morning's sort of session and have a little overview, look at what's happened through the night and things like that. Okay, so we spoke about these orange dots just yesterday, about how these were going to be our swing areas for future references. And I also pulled out this order block and put the fire zones, and that this is based on the 15-minute, just so you can see it on a bigger scale sort of thing. So again, taking notice of what you're seeing, other than the obviously guidelines that we set out yesterday. So we smashed through the top end where I said this area would be significant, and also on this area here. So we go down to the 1 minute. Okay, we go down to the 1 minute. We'll get this squashed in, and we're just going to see a few things. Now you can see as we came out, and when I put this orange line on, you're going to see this bottom one as well soon. The bias and things like that was correct. Just look at where we got the consolidation. It was slap bang, more or less 50% into there. So that was the directional bias was good on that. And then we got some strength on the Euro USD. And as you can see, as we headed up into that bigger order block, how we are respecting the fire zones with the wicks and consolidation, and again breaking out and coming back into these areas. From there, again, even when it comes back into play, you can see how it jolts down into each of these fire boxes, comes back up into respecting it. And again on here, we come out, respect, come out, respect, come out, break through, respect, jump up, break out, respect, and then a bit of consolidation, respect and respect. And you can see just how powerful these zones are. And I've got this down in my Discord channel, what the fib zones are, what the fire zones are, and they come in real good use when you're looking at swing points as well. And you can just, like you see, you can see on here, we get the breakout, we'll come back in for the touches. And as we head back off down, this line came back into play again, which is a price level I was heavily anticipating. Again, we come back into the zones to touch the lower zone, and then from there we've hovered just above the bias price that we were expecting. Many touches, and things like this is just giving me, it gives you confidence in your ability of knowing where you're thinking price is going to be. But not only that, look what happened. We headed down and we actually came in to touch and play upon the other area that I was expecting as well. Not just on consolidation, break out and come back and retest. We come back, break out, and then back in. Again, nice head and shoulder pattern here, to be fair. And then we've come back in this morning and we're touching and play on this morning. Okay, so with that being said, bias wise, let's get our goalposts set up for this morning, and let's see where we are heading. Okay, so again, get our goalposts, and we go from the 8:30 and I understand I'm starting a few minutes after the start time. It's just this morning I did wake up in immense pain, to be fair. Took some painkillers and I'm okay at the moment. 8:30, and the next one is $10:30. Right, so I'll tell you what we can do as well. We can put the path on. We'll do the path because this seems to do pretty well for us. We're coming down. And this is just going to give us intermediary price and structure, to be fair. Okay. Get that in there. Come down. Let's get this in here. Down here. We've come down to mitigate out of this, and then we broke structure here. This here at the moment is coming into play. We might head into this area at the moment, okay? So at the moment, as we drill into this, we may find the range. This is just to get our bias at the moment. The range on that to what we'll do. We'll work the magic because, like I say, I like to do this in front of your eyes. We'll do the swing points, significant swing point, swing point, swing point. I don't think that's one as such, to be fair, but we'll leave it in. We'll leave it in. Swing point. We'll start from there. Right. So, as you can see, we've got longer term price swing. Okay. And then in the middle, we've got intermediary price. And as we go up time frames, you'll see these sort of constrict in. Go to 15 minutes. You can see how this is nicely coming into the 15-minute area. Okay, look at that. Dong, dong. The change of candle. Couldn't have put that any more precise. It just shows you how powerful this is. Even on this uptrend here, you've got the down, you've got the up, you've got an indecisive doji. It's a factor that in. We've got the trend, and then we've got the down, and then we've got the up. So again, based upon a 15-minute maneuver, 50%. Just going to move that line down into here for play at the moment. We are on the 15-minute at the moment. I just want to sort of look at something and edge towards where I think we may move, to be honest. Within this session, I will put on the doji there. So sort of time parameter, go down to the 1 minute. Just need to make this bigger. About there. I'll make thinner. We'll keep this on as well, okay? We'll keep this on and get the path. And again, we might get this come down to respect this area, 50%, then it might shoot off to the upside. Again, we've had a break of structure from here, so we could be anticipating possibly, let's take a look. We could be anticipating something along the lines of here. We'll get in on that. Then come back to the top side. I'll put it to the body rather than the wick, although we'll go for it. Can we get a straight 3? Let's see if we can get a 3, 316. 1 to 3. Right, so that'll be a trade there. We'll see if we can get an entry. Again, looking at the bigger picture, 15 minutes. Is there anything on the downside? Got this down before the up. You see the mitigation. Mitigation's coming in at 50%. We do have wicks and liquidity on the downside here. This has been met on here, so we can get rid of that. And I like to keep my charts marked up simply because it's allowing me to look in the past on areas that I've possibly seen. Again, you've got this all mitigated. We've got areas on the bottom side here with a nesting area. We mustn't forget that. That's quite important as well, but it's quite far away, that, in all honesty. So I'm just going to stretch that out for further use in the future. 15-minute we're on, as you can see. Let's just get the order block on the upside. So there's a field of play this morning at the moment. So, okay, a field of play. We've got, if it crashes through the downside here, it could bounce off here and stop us out, taking out the weak hands before the maneuver up towards the upside. Again, will it come up to these areas? There's been a lot of mitigation on that high side with regards to this order block here. So I don't really see much happening on there. But from a supply standpoint, you've got that there as a supply area. We've got lower highs. Again, you can see that standpoint there. That's been met. It's come out. It's mitigated. Again, from that standpoint, this hasn't been mitigated yet. So what we're going to have is these areas that are grey on the upside. These are going to be our supply areas. The areas that are white on the bottom, these are our supply areas. So this here is our field of play this morning, but the orange and the orange top side is something that I'm anticipating to be respected at some stage. Again, let's just take my fib zones out for the expected sort of thing at the moment. And let's just put on the fire zones. Okay. Let's see where we are. That was a 1 to 3, wasn't it? Yeah, there we are. Right, so what I want to do with this is move this from that swing point to this swing point. Do it from there. So we've got the swing point here because we had to push down, consolidation, spike up, and then the big impulse. Okay, we've got confluence with regards to the money zone here of the fire zone. It's coming down beautifully into there. The supply area of the next sort of pullback is giving us confluence for that as well. Look at this. We've got a doji right in the middle of there. We've got some confluence there for possibly some mitigation. But on top of that, look where my orange areas are, slap bang in the center of the fire zone here and the outer zone. And then on the top side, we've got a combination of right between the two supply areas on the top. Okay, so some really important stuff, areas there. So for me, this looks as if I've got this marked out all right. We'll go down to the 1 minute. We'll see, we'll get an entry. And again, remember, when we go back on this, just to give you guys an update, we're in our 4th week of testing on the Euro USD. Okay, we've got the 4th week of testing on the Euro USD. So what we've got here, just need to get that copy and paste there, put in the USD at the 5th. We've got 23.84% growth still. So for me, we'll put 2% on this idea. Okay, let's put 2%. It's worth a risk. It's worth the risk. 2% to gain 6. Again, we'll manage the trade as we're sort of going along, and we've got structure points as well. Let's just take a look. Obviously a new technique that I've been doing as well. Structure points, look, structure point structure point. And like I say, these fire zones are absolutely fantastic. I would possibly take out half the trade if I was trading normally on with me documenting this. We are sort of going for the full closure of a trade, or if it's getting to a certain point, instead of closing out partial, I will just sort of close out the whole lot for that percentage, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do, guys, we've got our bias, we've got our intermediary price alongside obviously this 15-minute price action, as you can see. Okay, that should be there with this 15-minute price action pulled out. So we've got some destinations that we'll want to head towards. We've got a nice flag pattern coming down into this area here, the 50% of the pullback on here, and we'll see what happens. And we've got the swing point protected with a 3 pip stop loss, and we'll see. We'll get the entry. We'll come back in about 5 or 10 minutes, see where we are. We are now currently at, well, 9:45, and we're sitting pretty on price. We're coming down to meet that. Let's just hope it holds structure, and then we'll see what happens, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video and we'll be back in a moment. I didn't take too long, guys. You can see we are in on the trade. If I move that there, it's activated right to the pip, which is fantastic. Let's move that demand area back on there. Again, like I say, we are risking 2% on this a day, simply because we are in the final week of testing, and we are heavily in profit with 23.84%, which is fantastic. We'll see how this plays out. We may find when it gets halfway, I'll decide whether I want to sort of pull the plug on it for a 1.5% profit at 2% risk. It's 3% gain, simply because what I've got here now, I've just got to anticipate this here holding structure once we're in this zone. You see, once we're in that zone there, there's a possibility that it could hold structure. Again, it may get a sort of pull up. It might hit that high, but then it might tank down again, possibly searching for the liquidity on the downside of here. But what I'm going to do, like I say, we'll put a question mark on that. And again, I'm very, very visual. I just like to keep an eye out for these things, mark my charts up as I'm going along, and we'll see how it goes. But hopefully we may get the continuation up to the higher side. Let's put that on black and put that there. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to keep an eye on this price action. We'll be going to make a half-time cup of tea now that my joints are starting to ease up a bit, and we'll see you in a bit. See you in a bit. And as anticipated, guys, we are moving up towards the range. If we crash out of the range on here, we are currently on around about 1.68. However, I'm going to hold on for that 3%, 1 to 3, to be fair. What this is, it's 2% risk, so it'll be a 6% gain. Let's just take a look. Yeah, we'll hold out, see what happens. See it's holding structure on here. Where we at the moment, it's a 1 to 1 now. It's doing a turn back. It might actually go against us because that, unfortunately, has held structure. Let's just hold on for this a little bit more, see if we can get something out of it. Hopefully this isn't the start of that downturn to take out liquidity on this lower side. We could move this to a break even at a few pips, but again, that's what this is about. If it was me live trading this, I would possibly have moved my structure to just above break even, but because I'm trying to document this the best I can for a full-on move, then it is what it is, and we keep it as it is. Okay, so let's see if this will give us that turn back. I'll be back with you in a second. Be back with you in a second. Hey guys, so what we have now at the moment, let's just get a hold of this. What we have now at the moment, we've pulled up. Okay, so we're starting to do a pullback. We've got a range now on here, so we could be stuck between a consolidated range. So I'm happy to keep the trade going at the moment. Hopefully we will get a push out on this higher side, because we have now from here, let's just get things wrote out. We've got a low. Okay, let's just take a look at this. We've got our low. Let's just be visual. Let's be visual, as we always do on these sessions. We've got a higher low. Okay, we've got the high, and like I say, a structure is key. This is what we need to learn. This is what we need to anticipate. Again, for what you've got within here, guys, on this initial pullback, you've got a high and the low range being the protected consolidated area. We are waiting for a push out. For me, obviously, we need to push out to the higher side. It confirms that we are staying within that continuation push. If we get a pull out on this, okay, and we'll bring this lower down, and then hopefully this is going to help you visually. Hopefully we do not get the push down here, because if we do, we might see that this is just going to be a push back down to the downside. Again, we're stuck in the range at the moment. What we ideally want to see is a push out of this higher side. If we do, it's going to create a higher high. Again, at the moment, risking 2%. If I was to close this out at the moment, we would have made 2%. But again, we want to try and go for that 3 to give us that 6% gain. It's something I'm going to, it's going to be worth the risk. If I get closed out and I lose 2%, I don't care, because I'm on 23.84. I want to go for that extra push and get the 1 to 3 risk to gain a 6% gain. Okay, so we're going to keep this playing out. We know what the risks are, what they contain. At the moment, we just need to be able to identify. We need to be able to look at structure. We have to understand where price is and why price is at that area at this given time. So what we've got the pullback. Okay, we've got the pullback coming down. However, we're starting to go into a range we've created from a low, a high, a higher low within a concentrated area. Okay, just try and eliminate the noise the best you can from what you are seeing. But from a swing standpoint, okay, you've got the A, B, and I want to see the C pushing up to here. Okay, again, if I just make that, we'll make that green, not green, we'll make it purple, and I'll make it a little bit darker. From there, what I want is from the base level up to the ear. Okay, that's the thing with these things here, right? Well, not 1 to 3, get back. There we are. Right, so from the pullback, so you've got from the swing, okay, the swing, you see this, the A to B, the consolidated pullback, right? Look where that swing point is there. Again, if I get that, the initial impulse, the 0 to A is the impulse, the A to B is the consolidated retracement. But if we get that same measured move from that swing to that, it's taking us to the TP. So again, a little bit more extra confluence, a little bit more, not so much secret sauce. It just, when we get the momentum and pushes, we normally get that same drive, or at least towards that same drive. And it looks as if we're getting that push at the moment. We want to see this breaking at the minute. I'm happy with the stuff I'm seeing at the moment. Again, it's respecting of that. Come on, let's get that push. Let's get that push. There's the push out of the liquidity. There's been a liquidity grab here, but will we see the liquidity push further up. Where we at now? We're on a 2%. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. I'll close that out. So it's not. If this goes back over here, I'll close out at 2%. I'll be happy to take a 4% because we're risking 2%. Okay. Let's just see. We'll get that drive back up again. Right. That's closed. 2%. Okay. 2% risk. It's a 4% gain. You heard it here, guys. 2% risk. 4% gain. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. We'll just minimize this. Just going to update this. We've got a win today. 4%. 4% growth. We'll take a look back at that later on. From there, we'll starting to get the pullback now. You see, starting to get the pullback, but we've got it. We've got it. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to let the price sort of get back to itself. I'm going to have my halftime cup of tea. We'll come back on the charts at the moment. I hope you're seeing the importance of being able to identify structure within your movement. Obviously, I mentioned about this price range. Okay, we might see a little bit of bouncy between the consolidated range on here, in and out. Just out of curiosity, let's take a look. So that swing point down to that swing point, you can see here, this is a heavy area here. So we may come back in to respect this area at the moment. Not to worry, I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a moment, but you can at least sort of appreciate and understand what we look at and why we start to draw out these high lows and lower highs and higher highs and things like that. So let's pause the video. We'll come back in a second. I'm going to go make myself a nice cup of tea. Look at this, guys. Again, I'm happy with what I pulled out at that risk to reward of 1 to 2, and I pulled it early, just to show you guys that the bias and everything, we could have had a 6%, but hey, I locked into a risk to reward of 1 to 2, and that 1 to 2 was a 2% risk. I got 4%. Look at the anticipation of what I had. This is a 1 to 3 on here. You can see exactly where we were looking to push. Again, let's just get that line from the swing point up to the initial drive. Let's get that to this here. Look at this, guys. Like I say, you can't make this stuff up. Bang. Look at that. This is why I love trading. This is why, and I'm going to stop the share a moment. Moment of thought. Okay. So this is why when you are on your charts, right, you stick yourself to the 2 hour. Like for me, it was this was the light bulb moment for me. Back in the day, I used to be here, there, everywhere. And I thought, set my alert. It's what I was taught, right? I was part of another group. I was told, look at these trades, bang, 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 bang. Set your alert, set your alert, set your alert, set your alert. And then all of a sudden, you will get ping, 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 ping. You will get that. And you will get straight in the chart. Then you get ping, ping, ping. And it just distracts you. It distracts you. I came, I mean, there was nothing wrong with that group, in fairness, the good bunch of people, but the trading regime, the trading style, the ethics and what they were sort of trying to help you with, because that's what they were doing. They were trying to help you. It doesn't really help because they're sticking you with sort of tools, softwares, and it just didn't work. It just doesn't work. And I know it doesn't. There's many people that are still involved with it. Many people that are still getting involved with it. And you just don't need it. I cut that noise out. I'm still good friends with those people. Although I just cut the noise out for that trading style. It wasn't for me. I've always been one that wanted to go against the grain, being one that wanted to sort of find that one thing that worked for me. It doesn't have to work for everybody in whatever. I wanted to find something that worked for me. I wanted to be able to conduct and document it, that it does work. And so I had definitive proof from my own documentation and from my own sort of ability that it will and it does work. This is the whole purpose of why I've got this amazing community and why I'm doing these sessions on a morning, so then I can document what I've done, what's happened, where I've gone wrong, what am I doing to rectify it, what is my understanding on why things have gone wrong, and obviously when things go right, being able to have the high, which we have at the moment, and understand that all those years of trading and put myself through hell on the roller coaster, that we can see that you don't need indicators, you don't need these softwares and things like that. So that there, what we've just done has been absolutely fantastic. And this brings me on to the part where I'm just going to go back onto the share screen. And I hope this just, it does, in fact, I'll tell you what, take a bit off. Just let this bit sink in. You need to find something that works for yourself, okay? What I've got in, what I'm building here is a safe place for people to come in, to trade together, not to trade together using a software, not to trade together to pay for a tool to tell you when to get in, when to get out, not to get you to come in to have an exclusive of you come and join this and I'm going to give you this indicator. Cut that shit out, cut the shit out, and basically come in, come and join us. And from there, you're going to be in and around a circle of people that are aiming for the same goal, not to be told by a color or a signal or whatever else to say, get in on this trade now, get in on this trade now. No, we don't do that. We learn structure. We learn price action. We learn to understand why and where price is at any given time. And this is why it's imperative that when we are doing our charts, okay, it's imperative that when we are doing our charts, yes, this looks like a hot mess at the moment, but if you've been watching from the beginning, you'll be able to see the player by player rundown on the bias that I set up this morning to get to this area, to put the template on, to say, right, this is where I'm expecting price to go. We have got our supply areas on the top. We've got our demand areas on the bottom. That's my field of vision. This is the longer term path for price. Inside of that, it's overlaid on the top of intermediary price. So you've got everything on one screen. So you're not going alert, or jump onto that, alert, jump on to see this. I am trying to structure everything the best way I can and best way possible. So you've got everything in front of you at any given time. And from there, like I say, we need to be able to identify when you're in your goal post, you're in your 2 hours, to be able to look at this and say, yeah, we've created a low. We've created a high, we've created a higher low. Now, if price is in a continuation, we obviously then get a higher high. From there, you have this here, which is a price range. So when you have your zero, your ground level, you go up to A, okay? That's price shifting, that's price movement. The buyers in this occasion have picked up the ball, they're running with that ball. They're running up the hill. When they get to peak, when they get on the peak and they are exhausted and they drop the ball will come running, bouncing back down the hill. And that's where the retracement happens. So that is your A, peak A. It comes down to the valley, which is B, the retracement, okay? The sellers have run away with the ball, but then the ball runs away from the sellers. It bounces off that retraced area, which is generally a 50% area of the initial drive. And then when that ball bounces, you start to get the momentum back on the buying side. And that buying side, that impulse, is generally the same movement from when we first started the 0 to A, which I've just shown you there. And it's more or less to the pip. Now, I hope Man, I'm full of these little analogies, but I hope it sort of sends off a little light bulb moment. Again, I always urge everybody, bring a notepad and pen, write down things that are sort of triggering these light bulb moments off for you. Pause the video, timestamp that time, highlight your notes, okay? Put your notes down and put this down for, like I say, the 5th, I do believe it is today, isn't it? The 5th of October. And when you want to look back at a certain structure point, a certain time, or a certain lesson I've done where you say, well, you want to know a little bit more about these impulse drives, you can say, I learned something there. It triggered something off in my head. I seen that. I understood that. It lets you go back on your notes. It lets you go back on the video for the 5th of October, and you've got it time stamped. It's imperative. These are my top tips to be able to look back on the things that I do, the things that has helped you. And again, I hope it's bringing you so much value. If it is, give the video a thumbs up. Please help the algorithm on YouTube. Drop your comments. Let me know if what I'm seeing is sort of resonating with you. And from there, if you're seeing the value that I'm giving on here, please show your love and show your support any way you can. There is a button just below my finger that says join. Show some support to the channel. Become a spark or become a fire member. It just helps me be able to produce more content. And again, just to let you know, the spawn, I was in so much pain. I could not move. I could not get up. I suffer from arthritis, and this is my passion. This is my love. And I'm going to digress a bit here as well. And this is the sort of stuff that I'm heading towards, and I know I will be attaining. I just want to show this on here because I normally do a Forex Fire Friday weekly vlog. I got a rerun. I was $300 off hitting my second phase. I got a rerun from here, guys. This is my current situation on an FTMO. I've got the consistency. Why have I got that consistency? Because I'm able to set myself my identifiable area where I can sit in this chair, where I can just say for 2 hours, this is where I'm at. I'm not going to move away. I've cut off all the distractions. That is my time. That is what I'm doing. And that is where I'm staying at. If you just bear with me, my phone's ringing. I'm just going to pause the video for a second. Sorry, guys. Phone was an important call there. So, yeah. So it's important that we overall be able to identify these areas. And I just hope you're getting value from this. From there, I mean, you can see on here where I've had this consistency. I'm at the moment, I need 2,500. I've got till the 21st of this month to get another 1,400 or so. So again, I've got no doubt I'll get to that. We'll get that this month. So I'm sorry to digress there. Just obviously I get myself so excited and so fueled up with all this sort of stuff. From there, let's just get rid of some of the noise, see if we can find something else. Let's see if we can find something else on the chart. So that's our 2%, the 4%. That was the 1 to 2 that we got. Again, push that under there. Just going to get rid of some of this noise. Right, so the bias, again, the bias for today was we were looking to head towards the higher side here. And we are most certainly doing that at the moment. That. We're starting to come into a bit of a consolidation zone, to be fair. consolidation zone I like to have in a bit of a pink. So I want to see what happens when we break out of this. I'm going to pause the video. So as we've come up, we are sort of again on this area as well. You can see that last up before the down. It's nesting within that pullback on here. So we're going to be bouncing out. What we do need is either a push up, bounce in, and push up to this side, or this back down underneath this, and then to the lower side. We are going to sort of need to break it. It all boils down to that swing. It all boils down to that swing. We're stuck within the swing. Within the swing, we've got a consolidated area. Again, I'm just going to let the video play out. I might have to go a little bit earlier today because, again, I've just had a phone call there. We'll see what the bias is going to be. I just want to make that into yellow. We'll see what happens with price at the moment. I'll pause the video, see what happens to see what if we get the bounce out to the upper side, and we'll take it from there, guys. Okay, so just go up, pause the video. Hi guys, let's have a look. Again, I may have to cut this session a little bit shorter than usual. Just like I say, I've had a phone call. It's something I might have to go and attend, but we'll see how we go at the moment. So what we've got as we go back on structure, okay, yellow zone is the swing down here, okay. We're starting to pull back up. As we're pulling back up into the retracement of this area, okay, we've got liquidity resides on the top, liquidity resides on the bottom. So when this came down, we created this low, okay, we came up, created a high, higher low, we come up. I discount this because just a little movement, a higher high, a higher low, okay. From that standpoint, we are looking on the higher side. We've got the pink order block coming along. We identify these areas. These are very important. Pink order block, the order block for the last up before the down on the swing point, okay. And then as we've come down from the higher high, we've got a higher low. So we've got, in essence, what you've got here is a bit of a trend, okay, a channel. Now this channel is respecting, you've got your low, your high, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, and you can see the intermediary in the middle, the center bit. We have failed on the parallel channel on the uptrend to sort of come up and push through the center part to then come up and push through the higher high, taking the liquidity up here. If anything, what has happened, this is bouncing on the liquidity right here, and it's come back down. It's broke out of the channel. So we will see this will be a break, a retest, then to be a reversal, to then come back down to take out the higher low, okay. We've just got to wait and see what this does. It could be a fake out. Again, we may drive and push up through on here. If we do, we will be then looking at our higher side, which is the bias for today was, let's just drill further in. Our bias for today was for this order block area up here. Again, we are stuck between the range of this higher high, higher low. I'm waiting for the breakout to come back in to then come into play on these fire zones here. Or if this is to stand true, this parallel channel, we've now come out of the parallel channel. We've done a retest of the parallel channel, and now it's starting to come down on the downturn. So maybe what may happen is we'll get that back. Right. What may happen is we may see this happen. And it looks as if that's what is going to happen at the moment. And it's good to visually draw out your charts. And I know this looks a hot mess at the moment. Again, if you are watching from the beginning and you do these visual play-by-play and mark your charts up, because overall, again, I can't stress this enough. Forget about everything that's on this side. You see all these markers here? This is what I used to do. Each color used to have a different meaning. I stopped all that a long time ago. I stick religiously now with one pair, and basically on the time frame when I'm scalping as such on the 1 minute, and I just run my play-by-play, run whatever's happening on price action between my set goal posts of that 2 hours. And it looks as if we're now heading down and pushing back into the area which was this here. So some good tips here at the moment with regards to running the chart play-by-play. I'm just gonna let this play out a little bit longer. We've had a break of structure here, obviously, so now that has become a break of structure. Okay, so we could be looking at a short. To be fair, you could be looking at an entry there. You stop just above that, and at the moment you could be looking at a 1 to 8. Let's just take. I'm just going to pause the video for a second because I think there's someone at the door. Right, so we're back in here, guys. Again, we've got that upper. You can see we've got the channel. We broke, retested that. What I'm going to look at is I may only risk a 1% on this one, to be fair. No, I said I'm going to do 2% for the week 4. We've got a nice 4% for today, so I'll be happy with a 3% gain, if I'm honest. We're waiting for the pullback on this. In all honesty, there's 20 seconds left, as you can see on here. We'll wait for the pullback to see if there's a green candle. If there is, we'll play it from here. We'll risk a 1% to see if we can get on here. It'll be just over a 2% gain. We've got that protected high at the moment on here. Again, like I said, we were anticipating, we had this drawn out already. I was anticipating a possible breakout here to come back in. It's done that, and it looks as if that's the play it's making. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Again, you just need it. You just need to draw within your plan, within your structured 2 hours, and then you look back on what you've done over the 2 hours, and it does help. It does help. There we are. So we've got a 2.8. Can I get that at 2%? Right, there's a 1 to 2. We've got a 1 to 2 risk there. We'll possibly risk a 1% to gain 2 back. Or should I go for? Should I do the 2 for 4, and then we could possibly make the 4. We could possibly make the. What was this? This was a 1 to 2. We could possibly do the 48. No, we'll risk 2%. Okay, that was a 2% risk. 4% gain. I'm going to risk another 2%. We'll clone that. We'll risk another 2%. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. See how this player saver comes up and gets into the touch. We'll get rid of the noise on the top side. Whoops. Go back. We don't want to be messing around with that. We want to drill into our play area. Cut out all the noise. Let's see what happens. See, we'll get the entry. 2% risk for a 4% gain for an overall of 8% for the day. Hopefully it's not going to drive us straight out of price, but it's worth it. It's worth it. We're in the final week. Let's just see if we'll get that push up. It's currently 10 to 10. Come on. Right, so we've got a little bit of an indecisive candle just underneath there. We've got 50 seconds. Again, we come out beautifully to come in to test with this, and then bang down. Hopefully we'll get this on an entry. We are roughly around about just over a pip away. We've been as close as half a pip. We just need to get that little bit of a push. We've got some imbalance, some price inefficiency right here. Okay, so again, that's imbalance. It's coming back into plate. Normally it will give you the 50% of the imbalance played off. See if it bounces off that to then go back up to the entry to come back down. So that's got to be mitigated at some stage. And you see on here again, we talk about imbalance. There's imbalance there. That's coming up to sort of meet and mitigate into the imbalance. It's already done the 50% as it's drove back up. And it's good to it is good to visually deep dive into price action, to be fair. Again, you see things when you're longer term, you see things on a bigger picture. On a bigger picture, you've got all of that, right? When you're scalping, and scalping comes with its own sort of set of emotions. Yes, you're looking for higher side and lower side liquidity, but overall, scalping, your main objective or your main mindset should be focused on the previous swing point, if that makes sense, because you're working within a range. Scalping is what it's supposed to be. It's in and it's out on a trade. And again, that's where we are. We'll scalp on the higher side and the lower side. And at the moment, we're causing price within this area. We have our imbalance here, which is leaving a footprint where price has to mitigate. So as long as price is staying between this high side and this low side, this is always going to be a focal point for price to come back in to mitigate. As long as price holds on the high side, then there's every chance that price will return into here to mitigate this imbalance area, if that makes sense. Again, I hope you are getting value from what I talk about on here and what I do. Take notes, as always, take notes, highlight and write down what I've just spoke about there, imbalance areas. If it's giving you an aha moment on how it's letting you sort of play that out and sort of draw it on the chart, and you want to do that and be more identifiable on your charts, then take note of where we are on the video right now. Pause the video, timestamp it, note it on your notes, and then you've got something to come back onto. Make sure you've got your notes selected as the 5th of October. My phone's ringing, guys, so I'll be back with you in a second. Just bear with me. Hi, guys. So, yeah, just had a call. I'm going to have to go. We've had a family emergency there, but we've got an entry as well. So I'm going to stay on here at the moment just to see what happens. Again, we're risking at 2% for a possible 4% gain because it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Excuse me. We'll see what happens with that. See if we can come down and close out that 2%. Hopefully we are now going to mitigate into this imbalance area and take that out. If that was to happen at 1.24 or 1.25, in fact, we'll hold that as the area. We're risking 2%. We'll close it out. It's going to be nearly a 3% gain, that, to be fair. So we'll see this hits, and then I can dash off and do what I need to do. So it's a 1.28 on a 2% risk. Let's watch this live. It's 192. Come on, drive, push, 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 push. And you see how we've got this here. This is holding within itself as well. This will be an order block within itself. Excuse me, bit of a bad chest. So rock, okay. We want this imbalance. I mean, this is going to want to mitigate into this. We've got to get a bounce off this, surely. It's heading towards it. It's heading towards it. Are we going to get the touch? We've got 20 odd seconds. Go on, push down. Push down. Yes, there we go, guys. So we'll close that out. That's a 1.28. Let's just have a look at this. So again, 1.28 times by 2 to 2.56 gain. 2.56. 2.56% profit. We've hit that. And again, we've beautifully, you can see, we've possibly even gone to further down for the 1 to 2, to be fair. It's heading down towards that 1 to 2 as well. But we're gonna use and be honest. I have to go there's that 1 to 2 hit. 2.56. Let's take a look, guys. 2.56. We've got a 6. We've got a 6.56 gain. Okay. 23.84 plus 6.56. We've got a 30.4%. 30.4% gain for the month. Absolutely fantastic. I'm happy with that. It's just showing that this works. It works really well. And if you've been seeing value in what I'm doing on this, please drop your comment below. Let me know what you're taking out this session. Today has been a hard day for me for a few reasons. I've just had a phone call. I've got to dash off to go and attend what's happened. Also, I was a little bit ill this morning. We soldier on, we plug on, and we are attaining some good profitability with this. That's my session done for today. There won't be a session this afternoon simply because there's too much going on at the moment, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Okay, guys, thank you very much. My name has been John Docherty, and as always, I'm Mr. Forex Fire. Please show your love, your support, engage as much as you can. Let me know what you think of these sessions. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. But most of all, if you are getting value out of this, because what I'm going to be doing soon, I will be taking these off as a free live area at the moment. Over time, these will become a members only sort of session on the videos for people to learn from. So again, show your love, show your support. Please click the join, become a Spark or a Fire member, and I'll see you inside of this where there's so much more going on. See you later.